Welcome to another episode of the Love Enrichment series on the Happily Married for Life channel. I hope you're enjoying this channel. I hope that the messages are blessing you and improving your marriage or your relationship. Today's episode, we share a very important topic. 3 types of people to avoid to keep the peace in your marriage. The peace in your marriage is very important. Marriage is a place that we need a lot of peace. We need a lot of joy. It's supposed to be an exciting place. So anything that helps you guard against the destruction of the peace in your home must always be done. So there are 3 people that you need to avoid. The first group of people are people who encourage you to do things that don't please your spouse. They tell you to do things that are negative to the vows that you have made. They tell you to do things that are against your position as a married person. For instance, you can have friends who come to you and say, let's go and chase women, let's go and have this thing over here, and then we can meet other people and then have fun with them. And you tell them and remind them that you're married, but they tell you that that doesn't matter. You can still do. You have friends that you discuss your marriage with, and they encourage you that, oh, you can do this. Nobody's going to find out. Your spouse won't find out. Why are you doing this? They tell you to do things which are against your vows. This kind of people you need to avoid. Another group of people that you need to avoid are people who always bring you negative information about your spouse or your in-laws. These are people who are very close to your spouse. They could be friends, they could be workmates, they could be with you at the church. But anytime they meet you, they have some information about your spouse or about one in-law that is negative. Anytime they talk about your spouse or your in-laws or anything that concerns your marriage, it is negative. They come to tell you about how your mother-in-law said something about you which was negative. They seem to be the informants always bringing bad news. Be careful about these people. These people will always encourage you and lead you into needless fights. It is not everything that has to be reported to you. It's important that you may even understand the context in which your spouse did something or said something. But because of these people, they continue to feed you with negative information that you start to build resentment towards your spouse or people around your spouse. The third type of people that you should avoid are people who make it look as if it's foolishness to make sacrifices for your spouse. They tell you, why are you caring so much about your spouse? Why are you doing this for your spouse? We're all married people. Why are you trying to go home early? Why do you want to be home at 8 p.m.? We can stay until 11. After all, you are still a man. Be a man. Why are you out there? Are you the only married person around? Why are you doing this? Why are you sacrificing all this for your spouse? They tell you all manner of things that encourage you to do the wrong thing. They make you feel that sacrificing anything for your spouse, maybe you make a decision that I'm going to choose a certain job that would allow me to spend more time with my spouse. They tell you it's foolishness. After all, your spouse, there's no guarantee that your spouse would reciprocate that gesture with goodness. So they tell you you're being foolish. You need to be smart. You need to think about yourself. They only encourage you to be individualistic. That is not good advice. Any advice that tells you that sacrificing for your spouse is foolishness is bad advice. So this kind of people, try and avoid them. Marriage is a place of sacrifice. Love is sacrifice. We know right from the good book that God so loved the world that he gave his son to come and die for us. Love has always been sacrifice. So anybody who makes you feel that making sacrifices is always an act of foolishness, and so you should not do that, it's always going to take you astray. So avoid those 3 people in your life. Avoid people who tell you that sacrificing is foolishness. Avoid people who come reporting your spouse or their in-laws to you and always help you build resentment. Avoid people who encourage you to go against your vows. These three sets of people will not bring peace in your home. They would lead your marriage into destruction. Avoid them. I hope you have learned a lot from this episode. Please subscribe to the channel, like our messages, share our videos. Your marriage will get better. You will get better. Your relationship will get better. And always remember, be happily married for life.